everyone. How's it going today? Welcome to the first stream of 2026. I don't even know if anyone's watching right now. Cool if you were. Oh, how do I get rid of this? Oh, this chat thing. How do I get rid of that? Go away. There we go. All right. Well, if you're here, say hi. I'm trying something new. Today, which I don't know if this is going to work out. There's this thing in Twitch called viewer call-ins. So people can actually jump up. You know what? It's really hard to hear me when my microphone's way over there, I'd imagine. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay. Do I have audio? Let's check. Hello. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. There we go. All right. So, anyways, as I was saying before, today is first stream of 2026. Pretty excited to be back. Had a great holiday. And I'm doing something new. I might do this every week. We're gonna see how it goes today. Is the audio still very soft on your side? I realized my microphone is really far away from my face there, so that's probably what it was. But audio should be pretty crispy now. Let me know if there we go. KevXB, how's it going? Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't connect my Firebot. There we go. That's why I can't see anybody. Okay. So Kevin, you're not going to get the shout out because my Firebot wasn't connected. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Techies Review. Appreciate that. I had my microphone in the wrong place. Oh, there's my dog barking. I don't know if you can hear him. There he is. So, anyways, there's this thing in Twitch called viewer call-ins, where if you have a Twitch account, I think you have to be phone enabled, you can call in and we can chat. So if you ruined your night, oh, it is night. Well, Kevin, why don't you just jump on the old Twitch account and come on in, do a viewer.
Oh, great. It's KevXB.
There it is. I turned the thing on and then it realized that you chatted. So there you go. There's a shout out for KevXB. Nice. You can sleep tonight. Oh, you can't sleep tonight until you do a viewer call in, Kevin. Go get on your Twitch channel. I know you got one. And a microphone. And do a call in. And you can come on the stream with me. You can talk. Call in. Yes, we'll debate whatever you want to debate. TypeScript. You can tell me what I'm doing wrong with TypeScript. 2026 for me is going to be the year of TypeScript. I'm going to learn it. I'm going to work with it in every project. And it's going to be fun. That's my plan. So, yeah. You can tell me, actually, Kevin, if you're interested, jump on. What's the vote count? Oh, did you, were you the one that voted? Or two that voted? Let's see. Let's take a look here. Where are my posts? The vote count right now is sitting at 2 votes, 1 for JavaScript. If you haven't, I would love some. You were first. Nice. Well, Kevin, you are first in my heart as well. So that is the poll to my YouTube account that I'm just trying to get an idea of what people want to see on my channel here. So if you're interested, please hit that link and go tell me what you want to see. If there's something that's not on, like, it's very generic. It's like, do you want JavaScript? No, yeah. Well, I know which vote yours was, Kev. JavaScript, TypeScript, PHP focused stuff. I was thinking, you know what? There's a lot of knowledge out there in WordPress that people who've maybe been around for a while. I'm not the other one. I didn't vote. Already know. So like, Techies Review. Also curious to start learning about React and WP, just like PHP in the good old days. What would be your go-to sources? This is a good question. From although I can't highlight it, it's in YouTube. Techies Review. You're more than welcome to just stay over there in YouTube, but the chat mostly happens in Twitch. So if you're interested, come on over. But the question is, curious to start learning React and WP, just like PHP in the good old days. What would be your go-to sources? Well, I would learn a little bit of React for sure. If you're not familiar with React at all, there's a million courses out there just to get up to speed on React. And after that, I would probably go to somewhere like the Block editor handbook and like the getting started guide. So this is going to teach you the fundamentals of block development, which is kind of where the majority of JavaScript development is happening inside of WordPress. So this is a good place to go get started. And you could just, the other thing is you can just hang out here. Just subscribe to my channel, follow me on Twitch and Twitter and wherever, and we'll talk about stuff, because this is what we do here, is we talk about WordPress and React, JavaScript and React and stuff like, well, not so much React, more like how WordPress and React and JavaScript all kind of intersect. That's sort of the idea behind it. Kevin, I still don't see you in my call-ins. Anyways, yeah. All right. So I'm going to refresh this. 6 votes. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? It's still 50-50. I should have taken this why not both out. I should have done that a little bit differently. So lots of people want to see JavaScript, TypeScript, and more people want to see both. So that doesn't help me at all. It's my own fault. All right. Well, speaking of TypeScript. Thanks, Techie's review. Appreciate that very much. I do have combined chat, but some of my chat, I can't. I would highlight your question on the stream, but I only get chat coming in from Twitch in there. WP Rig now has a block building system in it based on Create Block. Curious about your thoughts on it. Arbog 17. WP Rig. Why does that sound super familiar to me? I think I know. What is WP Rig? Let's take a look. Wait a minute. Is there a GitHub for this? Docs. Learn. Is there a big repository? Documentation. Where's the repository? Where's the repository? Oh, Rob, yes, you asked me about this before. I'm sorry. I owe you some feedback on this. Yeah, you reached out to me. I'm sorry. There's I need to do a dive into this. This is something that Rob Ruiz, who's spoken with me a number of times and asked me about this, and I owe him feedback on it. I think, like at a high level, I think anything based on Create Block is the right way to go, because if you're using Create Block, you're going to be using what like the industry is using. So that's a great first step. That's my opinion. That's for sure. This looks like it's super robust. It's a blog article and documentation page. Let's take a look. Blog, okay. Documentation, documentation. Bootstrap, CSS fallbacks, for browsers, CSS, JavaScript, and custom blocks, and queuing scripts. Oh, nice. So you have, okay, cool. Cleaning your code with PHP, full-site editing. This is great. I'm gonna read this and I'm going to get back to you on this. And I do apologize for not doing that sooner. So, I'm just kind of lazy. Morning, Paul. How's it going, Paul? So like I said, I've got viewer call-ins active. So if anyone's on Twitch and they want to jump on stream and just say, hey, you don't have to have anything to talk about. We can just, chat. Nothing. It's not, nothing formal. It's all good. We're just hanging out. But anyhow, okay. So WP Rig is the thing that I need to check out. And I'm going to check that out. I promise you. I'm also looking for votes on my YouTube channel. If you go to posts here, you can tell me what you want to see in 2026, or just give me an idea of what we're doing there. Oh, Paul Paul Byrne coming in. All right, let's see. I've never done this before. I'm going to see what happens. I'm going to invite you, Paul. Oh, where'd you go? Oh, okay. Here we go. All right, Paul. Do you have a camera? I can't hear you or anything, so. Show on stream. Here we go. Yeah, sure. Here we go. Paul. There he is. Am I streaming outside? No. Paul, are you there, sir?
Oh, great. It's Philip.
Okay, I can see you, Paul, but I can't hear you.
1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4.
Oh, there you are. All right. Cool. Okay, chat, you tell me, can you hear Paul? What are we looking at? Oh, what's this? Paul's linking his Twitch thing. Oh, I don't want that. That's okay. All right, so you're on stream there, Paul. I don't know if you can see yourself or not, but say hi to everybody. And chat, let me know if you can hear. This is the first time I set this up, so this is fun. But I want to make sure that you can actually hear what Paul's saying, and I can boost the audio if that's needed. Paul, can you say something for me? Troy Chaplin.
Oh, great. It's Troy Chaplin.
It's Troy Chaplin. All right. What's the LUP? I am not streaming outside. I'm just, I need a haircut. And so I decided to wear a hat today. Managing insertion of code snippets. Easy way out. Yeah, for sure. Paul, I don't know. Are you hearing me okay? I don't know what's going on with the audio. It popped into another window. Some streamers aren't live yet. All right. I don't know if Paul's hearing me or not, but if he is, cool. So anyway, what is this? What is this? So Paul's talking about, this is a plugin proposal for insertion of code snippets. Interesting. Oh, I can kind of hear you, Paul. You're pretty quiet though. Let me see if I can boost your audio here. Yeah, I
reopened up the chat Twitch channel.
Can you hear Paul okay?
And I can see
hey, Marcus Burnett, how's it going? All right. Well, Paul, you're welcome to hang out in the stream here with us today. We'll see how it goes. So what is this thing we're looking at? This is a plugin proposal for managing snippets. So I know there's a ton of plugins that do this, right?
Yes, but there is a single one of them is like, here's the for oh, but the echo is horrible.
Sorry, so you're saying that, let me just maybe turn my music off.
Individual plugins tend to support just one snippet.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So this idea is you can take base snippet, and just paste it straight into this interface. We split it up. We make a setting for those values. and then we can control where on the page it gets and how it gets added.
Right. Okay.
So we can then optimize the placement of the snippet. We maybe combine snippets together, and if there are options for them, so like a lot of the chatbots have like colors, icons, things like that. We have an interface where people can actually adjust their look and feel.
Right. Okay.
And so also I'm going to suggest that we support like JSON files, so people can put a JSON lump in, a yet to described, and that will generate a settings page which people then could fill in. We could have a collection of JSON configurations that we preload, and you just like click a button to enter that snippet. Just an idea at the moment.
Yeah. Script blocks, it allows options to be managed. So I mean, I think probably that like and like Weston's comment here is sort of what was the first sort of comment that I had as well. And I mean, this is just my initial reaction. Like I hold no sway over whether things move forward or not. But I would be concerned about like if being able to insert snippets, how you can control the security around that. You know what I'm saying?
Because we split it up, and
Oh, great. It's Lord of Blues.
Sorry, say that again, Paul. There was a thing running over top of you there when you said that.
And this is safer than just allowing someone to drop JavaScript into the head.
Right. But how is it? But okay. Maybe I don't understand the implementation. Possibly. Let me just read this again. So create settings. Admin settings will allow management of code snippets so we can control when and how they were added to rendered HTML. Add a settings page that enables adding, selecting script blocks and allows the options to be managed. There are lots of instructions. Okay. So you're creating a location to paste the snippet, then parse it, store it as a CPT or whatever. Create settings that control how it is loaded, adjusted. We also allow block JSON to be pasted as well to create a setting with options for the scripts that allow part of the setting control. Okay. Part of the settings control where the snippets are added to the page or bundled into larger external file. Okay, so single snippet.
JSON describes the options for the snippet.
Right. So what kind of like, so what would be an example? So you have a like, so like, and again, I may not be just not grokking this properly, but at the end of the day, this sounds like the ability to insert arbitrary code and then have it rendered in certain places. That's a super distilled, like, no nuanced sort of description of that. Is that accurate?
A subset of code, not anything.
Right, but how would you control? So if someone wants to put in they want to drop a script.
Great.
Corey.
It's CR0.
Hey, Corey, what? Oh my God, that's the longest. That is the longest one so far. It's crazy. No, you're not interrupting. It's all good. It was an automated thing I did. So like, what would keep somebody from putting some script tags with some malicious code in there? Like, how would that be validated, or would it be validated? I guess is the question.
Probably somebody could do that, they were clever, but we could probably also put some protection in that certain things are not allowed is valued because we actually pass the context.
Right. Okay. I mean, that's a problem that's solvable.
How is this?
I mean, it's not hard
how
to
is
solve.
the risk any greater?
Sorry, go ahead.
And someone just pasting it into the header or the footer.
It's not. It's not. I don't think it's any greater risk. I think it is just core approved risk, if that makes sense. If the intention is for this to be part of WordPress core, then we're giving people license to shoot themselves in the foot by just dropping it any random snippet. I mean, again, I don't know the full scope of this, so I'm not saying no, it's a bad idea. I'm just like wondering, you know.
Yeah. It's a mad idea at the moment. I'm just.
Yeah. Okay. Well, cool. Well, I mean, I don't think it's impossible to do this. You know, I think it's sort of like, it's the same reason why SVGs are so controversial in core, I think, right? Because it's very hard to make them safe.
Yeah.
Because there's so many permutations and options and things and like, you know, so I think we're kind of treading in that territory. But what's Kevin saying? You can totally tell me his HTML. You can have custom JS runtime validate the code. I do it with my CSS plugin. Yeah. So that's, I mean, I think there's technical solutions to this for sure. I think there's two questions. One, is it a plugin or is it part of core? That's probably the big one. And if it's part of core, that's a huge conversation. And you probably should start out as a feature plugin anyways, right? Like that would be my, because you'll be able to iterate on it faster.
Plugin and to see if it becomes of use.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and .org would probably never accept a plugin like that. But if the intention is
or not accept a plugin like
that. Probably the JS runtime, I think, is what Kevin's talking about. Oh yeah, I think Kevin's talking. So he has a custom JS runtime that validates the code. He has that with a CSS plugin, right? And I think he's referring to .org not wanting to accept a plugin that does that. Not necessarily what you're trying to do, but like what he was doing. He said took me a lot of effort to get the CSS. So, but I mean, if it's a feature plugin, that's not. I don't. It's a cool idea. It's a cool idea. Paul, you've always got cool ideas. Every time I talk to you, you're like, hey, let's parse all of schema. What's that?
Yeah. And we have a collection of like buttons so that you can like search for snippets that are reformatted. JSON has foundation on it, and so you could like select your chatbot you want to do, creates a setting page, you fill the values in, default values, you can put your key in, and bingo, it works. And we can do things like putting it in the footer whenever we can, rather than
right.
Because the instructions always say put it in the head. And it just helps by doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Having a plugin would be better though. Yeah, canonical plugin. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like, I mean, you know, you just got to get the. Have you started any work on it, or is this just an idea at this point?
No, I want to knock it around.
Oh, you made a wise choice, my friend.
Thanks for the sub, Marcus. Appreciate you. That's awesome. Yeah, we're doing viewer call-ins too. So if anyone else, all you need is a Twitch account and you need to be watching, and then you can come on in and we can discuss whatever you want to talk about. There is a bit of a delay though, I think, when I talk, and then Paul, you're hearing it a few seconds after me. So it's sort of like when you see the news anchors in another part of the world. So I don't know. Maybe that's just the way I have it set up. So we'll figure it out. But yeah, so if you want to jump on, just go do a call in through Twitch and you can come on, talk with me and Paul and whoever else wants to join. You can chat about whatever. What else are you working on today? These days, Paul? Why is that yelling?
Still doing stuff on Matador jobs, doing bits. I actually went and had a look at the schema.org, moved it forward a little bit.
Oh, yeah? That's cool.
Yeah, there's a bit of a pull request out there.
Is this on my repo? I should just give you full access to it. Hold on.
Yeah, it's a pull request against your repo.
Okay, let's see what we can do here. Let's go take a look. Did you fork it, or like I can just give you the repository if you want? What's the thing called? Schema.
I forked it.
Oh, you forked it. Okay.
No, further fork.
No, it's this one.
Yeah.
Oh wait, is this the one?
Did I do a pull request?
No, I don't see a pull request. Unless it's the.
Let me find what I've done. Do a pull request so you can see it.
Yeah, you can I'll just merge it. YOLO. I'll do a YOLO merge. All right. Listen, those folks that are on this stream that are not calling in, I want you to call in right now. Come on. Let's do it. Let's have fun. You don't even have to go on camera if you want. You can just do audio. Paul's the only brave soul here. Wow, is this from 2 years ago? Oh my God.
All right.
Is that how long it's been since we looked at this?
Yeah, there's a pull request now.
Is there? Okay, let's take a look here.
You did really nice work in here. I've got it showing out the content, but I haven't got it. But I haven't got it doing the looping because we need to. Is this content an object or a text field? And we need to toggle down the data stack we've got so that we end up at the native text or number values.
Right. All right.
Yep.
So,
but we're quite close. It really is getting.
Yeah, I haven't really. I haven't really looked at it in a while. Where did we end up with this? I think we ended up with like. Did we get the min page? I don't remember how this all worked out.
There's an admin page, and I've made a block that starts to show the inputs.
Oh right, and doesn't it like? Oh my God, did you do this or did I do this? I don't think I did this. Did I do this? Oh, maybe I did. I don't know. So this is generating patterns, right?
I can't remember.
I didn't even remember. So selected patterns. Yeah. Holy jeez. All patterns.
And some of this is AI generated, so.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's probably that's probably how I did it. If I did it. Variations. What we got in here? Index. What we got for variations? Schema attribute.
Oh, I did. Well, some of the stuff I did was AI generated.
Oh, okay. Was there? There must have been. Oh, there's only one closed pull request. I don't know. Cool. Well, I hope that this is something that carries on, that you're able to work with.
I'd love to work more on this in the future. I know it's a...
Here. Oh, right. Okay. This is sort of like plugin controls. Interesting. Coolio. All right. I'll put my music back on if that's okay with you, Paul. Gotta have that heavy metal rocking. Nice. I might turn it down a little bit though. There we go. So something that I'm working on right now, and I don't know why this is doing this, but I'm working on a couple of blocks. So like I said, this is me just diving headfirst into all things TypeScript. So as we know, the blocks package. This is really annoying. Come on. I did this yesterday. Now I know why it's not doing that. Why can't I find the namespace React? Or JSX or Element? All right, we're just gonna get rid of those.
Me across the screen.
Oh, okay. Let me just change that like this. How's that? There you go. Let's go across. Nah, let's go over here. There we go.
I think that out of people's way.
That's what we'll do. So, anyways, what I've been working on is I have this. We're doing this project for my job where we're building like a showcase of stuff for develop. Oh, Lord of Blood, he's calling in. All right, hold on. Here we go. Let's see what happens. All right, let's see. Now, better be wearing a shirt, Lord of Blood. Surge implementing our dev server. Oh boy. All right. I don't know what happened there, but I invited you, Lord of Blood. Get you in here whenever you show up. I don't know. Seems to take a second. So this is my first time doing this. We're afraid of. All right, Troy, I'll get your Twitch account open and jump on the call here, man. Let's do it. Y'all can tell me what I'm doing wrong with my TypeScript. Oh, there's Troy right there. All right, here we go. Oh, this is getting crazy. We might have too many people. I'm excited. I don't know where y'all going to show up. I'll probably have to move this around. Anyways, Kevin, you'll know why. Okay, so anyways, so in WordPress, for example, in our blocks package, there's no proper types, right? So we're running into some problems there. So, so annoying. So to get around doing this, I'm doing my own types. I'm declaring a module and I'm adding all of my types in there. Oh, there's Troy. Let's just see. Previewing. All right, I'm gonna just push you to the call there. Where's Troy? Oh, better move you guys. Maybe I'll put you across the top. How's that? There we go. Troy, you talking? I think. Oh, there he is. I see you, Troy. Can I hear you, though? That's the question. There, I'm turning my music off here. Troy, can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay, Troy?
I can.
There we go. Okay, I think I know what I was doing wrong. I can hear you. I think chat can hear you. Just go ahead and talk for a sec.
Hello?
Yeah, okay. I think the problem is you're getting, yeah, all right. So I didn't set this up properly. Lord of Blood, where are you? I don't see you in there. Okay, what was happening? So I've got this window behind the scenes here, and y'all show up over here and stuff. And I had my mic muted, and I think what was happening was you're hearing me delayed through the stream. And so I need to turn my mic on here so y'all can hear me properly, I think. Because there's no delay now, right?
Doesn't seem to be, but I don't see your face, so I can't see if there's a delay or not.
Oh, you can't see my face?
No, I can see Paul, but
okay.
Looks like your video's off.
You're responding almost immediately after I'm talking, which was not the case with Paul, because I think you're hearing me.
Is that the Twitch pop-up?
This is the stream together thing that I'm in. So like I manage this. You can I count down from 5. Well, if I turn my video on, you'll see me. Don't send. You'll see myself, and we don't need that. Nobody needs that. You can already see me. But Lord of Blood, where you at, man? I saw you in there, and then Did you get nervous? If it turn the video in the app, you'll lose. Yeah. Well, I can turn my camera on, but I don't want my camera on in the background here because I'll lose. I did this before. Oh, I see, Lord Blood. Okay. I did this with Justin Tadlock once, and I left my video running in this thing, and then it just basically killed my bandwidth. So I'm turning all the videos are off in here, but I can see you guys on stream through OBS, and I'm assuming you can see me, and we can talk. This is so much fun. So, Troy, what was your meeting about?
Oh, we were just looking at implementing Surge on our servers just to get some better full page caching going on.
Nice. Oh, speaking of caching, I'm thinking about doing a stream on an old school topic that's near and dear to my heart is like caching. So like the transient API, WP cache, that stuff. I don't know why. Oh, who was that? Paul, did you just rip a fart?
Do include the ability, how to manage clearing caches.
Clearing what kind of caches? Like transient caches or like full, like page caching?
Problems no, page caches. So one of the problems I have is that I have a form with a nonce in it, and that nonce gets expired, and the form is cached.
That's
nonce fails.
Yeah, because it's cached. Can you update the nonce on the form submit? Like, can you? Is your form being done? Like, is it being submitted through like Ajax, or is it being submitted through like a Because what you can do,
submit back to the page.
Submit back to the page. I mean, you could, but your nonce is being generated on the page, right? So this may be a dumb idea, but with the way that we used to do it back in the day when I was at 10up and we were working with VIP, VIP has extremely aggressive page caching. So you couldn't have anything on the page that was like dynamic in the sense of like user information. So if you're a logged in user, you couldn't like show it in PHP because it would get cached. So a lot of times what we would do is we would load the page and then run JavaScript immediately to update portions of the page that need to be updated based on the user. So you could do something like that because your nonce is just, it's stored in an input field, right? Like it's stored in there. So you could do something like that maybe where the page loads and then once it's loaded, the nonce is updated with like using Ajax where you can generate the nonce on, and then insert it that way. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've done that. I know that this is a problem that has been solved. Troy, what do you think? Troy,
we have got some code that's doing that.
Yeah, this is not an area that I'm really overly knowledgeable on, so I'm not going to put my foot in my mouth and say something completely incorrect.
Man. Put your foot in your mouth. Do it. Just do it. Just expose all of your nonces in the console. That's the way to do it. Just have them all out there, and all your API keys. That's the correct way of doing it.
Yeah, just put all the API keys up there. Or someone else do that so we can use them.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Expose them to chatbots and to AI. It's the way to do it, man. I'm telling you. I would try something like that, Paul. Because I mean, the thing is too that like those nonces are really they're not truly numbers used once. Like
it matters.
Sorry, what's that?
In Matador jobs, we have a background task which updates a list of jobs every 10 minutes. And so you need to clear caches regularly so that the new jobs appear. Otherwise, recruiters get really confused. Why isn't my job showing on the page?
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. Yeah, I would probably try to refresh that section of the page using JavaScript of some form. Just injecting the knots or on form submit.
Yep.
Before the I mean you could do it with JavaScript as well, but then I mean you need to have JavaScript enabled, but which is like every site, but you could do something too that like when the form button is submitted, you could get a refreshed version of that knots and then submit the form, you know. I don't know. I feel like I'm overthinking it. I am overthinking it. The LUP is just saying what? Nice to see I discovered Discord.
We've got code doing some stuff in that.
Sorry, you've got code doing some of the stuff in the submit process.
Yeah, no, I stopped because I started hearing the echo. We've got code that's doing some JavaScript to refresh the nonce.
Okay.
But it's never perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really know a ton about caching and clearing and all that stuff, but one of the things we were looking at in the last couple of days with the Surge plugin was just testing to make sure like it was, because it clears the cache for each individual page as new content gets created. I don't know, by looking at that code, is this something that you could pick up on from there that might work to solve some of the issues you're struggling with here?
Okay.
Yeah, the LUP's got a good point too, because I mean, if you have an AJAX request that's generating that for a non-logged in user, then anybody can just get nonces for your site. So it's a tough nut to crack for sure.
Yeah, so I'll drop the link to that plugin in the chat. I saw this one a while ago. It's a pretty good plugin.
Do you have to cache the form? Like, what if you didn't? What if you? I guess page caching is controlled outside of the plugin, right? Like there wouldn't be a way to accurately say I don't want this. I don't want this page cached. Like the user would have to do it because you could cache all of the contents of the page using like a transient and cache the HTML, so you're not doing lookups like crazy.
I'm not getting any audio
Brian,
right now.
Go back to your TypeScript stuff. I think.
Sorry, were you not hearing me now? Are you hearing me now?
No, I am now.
Oh, how about you, Paul?
I wasn't before.
Okay. Cool. All right, coolio. Anyways, yeah, so the TypeScript stuff that I'm working on is basically trying to solve the problem of not having like React. Sorry, what am I saying? Types, and then trying to use types because that's not really a thing that you can do. So I'm doing this really badly, I'm sure. But basically what I'm doing is I'm converting everything to TypeScripts, and then I'm declaring the modules that are missing types. And this has actually been a really little fun experiment because I'm trying to learn all the good stuff, right? Just want to say Happy New Year. Give them for oh, sorry. Well, Lord of Blood, yeah, it'd be good to have you on. You're having trouble getting set up with Twitch. That sucks. Well, you have some homework for next week. But I'm taking this course. I bought this course a while ago called Totally TypeScript. It's kind of cool. And so I'm totally TypeScript by Matt Pocock is his name. I think Kevin told me about this guy. I don't know. He has a cheat sheet for a TypeScript config, which is really cool. But it's like all these workshops. There's like tons of stuff. Like you're learning all about lots of stuff. Right now I'm on the mutability section where we can learn, for example, object property inference and recreating read-only properties and things like that. So it's kind of new, cool. Well, This was on sale a couple like last year, I think, and I got it because I mean it's good. I will say that some of the things are like kind of like it's well here I'll show you a like an example. So let's look at like one of the basics. So let's go like basic types in TypeScript. So he has a little video, he explains it all, and then after the video,
Let's look
I'll just
at
jump to the
one,
end.
which is
We don't need
change
to
the things
go
that are
through
being
this.
assigned to them.
All right, and then you do it all in the browser, which is really cool. So like this is not right, so we have to change that to number, you know, so on and so forth. And then he gives you the solution. So it's pretty cool. Small little bite-sized things. I'm quite enjoying it. I do think that some of the lessons are a bit like, okay, we've already learned that concept. Now we're just kind of doing it in a slightly different way. But that's the simpler stuff. We're getting into more complicated things. Like I learned about pick and omit, which is really cool. Something I had no idea about before. It's 2026 and I don't know anything about TypeScript. So that's what I'm learning right now. And to do that, I find it's better for me to learn on projects, right? So I have these 2 blocks, and there's going to be 3 blocks soon or than later. And so I'm just trying to get some ideas, like just trying to put the types in that I need. So this doesn't fail, right? So I'm defining inside of my register block type in the types of that it's going to take a name and it's going to take some params. And so I have these register block params that I'm defining. And I love this partial thing because it means that if I didn't do partial, check this out. Everyone here is going to know about this. So this is yelling at me because it's expecting things that aren't there. It's missing some stuff, right? But they're all, I don't need them because we don't always pass every single one of these parameters to the register block type, right? So it's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about it. Everyone watching is like, yeah, okay, Ryan, basics, thanks. Shut up. I have to do the attributes better here, though, I think, because...
Do you think that could go into core eventually?
Say again?
Do you think the typing could go into core?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we need it. I'm actually working on helping to get that done because the thing that we don't have, so there's a ton of TypeScript in core, but there's no TypeScript for some of the blocks for the packages that extenders use. So the people that are building blocks, building a lot of this stuff, they don't have types. So that's part of what this is, trying to get some of these types. Well, yeah, there's a bit of that too, Kevin. There's a lot. It's just a ton of refactoring, right? I agree with you. I think the policy is anything new is being written in TypeScript, and then we're trying to address some, like this is the original pull request where we're talking about getting stuff into TypeScript, and there's some really great comments in here that I would encourage you to read. The one thing, like Dennis Snell, who's like the smartest dude in the planet, had a really great point in that, like some of these types are so generic that it's almost like you might as well just use any, which doesn't really help that much. But so there's a lot of conversation back and forth about whether or not doing it, like moving everything to TypeScript, like a TS file or TSX file, right? Versus output in core makes it hard to go for. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean it's hard. It's very, very hard. So this pull request, so this original pull request did a whole ton of TypeScript work, and it kind of got basically shut down a little bit. Well, not shut down, but just basically it was deemed to be too big of a lift, I think. So what I'm trying to do is I took the work that was done here and I just pulled the types out. So my plan is to piecemeal merge some of these types in so we can start getting them added, and it's done through like doc blocks and stuff like that, right? So that's how it's typed. So there's a ton of this work that's being done in a types folder, and then we're just referencing those types in the original pull request. I think what they were doing was they were doing the types, and then they're also updating the so like all of the doc blocks and everything were being updated as well. So this is a good example of that, right? And so I think we need to get the types in there first, get that passing, and then starting to add these types to the code base as well, and then we'll get that done. I mean, in the meantime, I mean, there's another solution I think too, where like we update the packages on definitely typed or definitively typed, whichever one that is. But problem is those are so old and there's been so many permutations. It's just better to get it in core, because then once it's in core, because we'll get type support faster. Okay, how can I explain this? So if we merge these changes into the package, that package gets updated every 2 weeks when Gutenberg, when the release candidate for Gutenberg is pushed out. That's when these packages get released. So we'll get types support like super fast, like before 7.0. Assuming let's say we merge this stuff tomorrow, we'll probably get it either next week or the week after. So you can install the package and have immediate type support, right? No, you're totally right. This is a really good point. Where is that? Spotlight message. Like, this is a great point. Oh, can't see it because everyone's sitting over top. I could have put this behind Firebot overlay. Let's do that. Sorry. Let's do that again. All new code is TypeScript anyways. Yeah. So like, oh, not that one. It's this one. Spotlight message. Whatever. Anyways, it's a good point. But the thing is, it's like it's there's a difference between. So what I'm finding is there's very much a difference between implementing it and using it, right? So if that makes sense, like writing the types and adding them to the code base is a much more complicated process than just ingesting those types when we're using them. Because a lot of it's behind the scenes anyways, like you don't see it. So it does take a certain level of expertise, one that I don't really have. And that's what I'm sort of looking at, trying to get myself to the point where, because this is the exact kind of pull request that like no one writing real code for Gutenberg, like working on actual features, is going to have time for. It's exactly what someone like me, who's like, a hack, but is paid to help, can do and move this stuff forward. So hopefully that's something that I can get done sooner than later. Love some help though. You know what I'm saying?
It's going to be an interesting transition to see.
What, to TypeScript?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of did that with our component library, and there was a lot of struggles, a lot of learning, validations and stuff, and just running checks and tests were failing left, right, and center. Like there was a big learning curve there. Really?
What was the tests like? Oh, the test because you're using TypeScript. Like what tests?
Yeah,
were
and like the
TS
using the whole any was a big problem, and
yeah.
I had to go back and like look at some of the old code. It was a good year and a half ago. I think we were really kind of struggling with that. So
you guys are full TypeScript now?
In our component library, not in our WordPress work right now.
No. I mean, but that's a start, right? So were you getting errors like any, like can't use any? Because I think you can disable that in the TS config. I think that you can allow it.
Yeah, you can,
or make it less.
I think there was a way to disable it. We were trying to learn it, and we kind of left all those things on at the time.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean,
learn how to fix it properly.
For sure. That's what I'm sort of doing as well. Like there's this thing in here that's driving me nuts, and I can't figure out why this is doing that. But I have this block params, which takes an object, and then that object is, yeah, exactly. Any beats the purpose of TS. It's kind of like, that was a comment that Love said. But anyways, so there's I have this block params interface, and it takes an object, which is basically the attributes. So the attributes can be whatever. But when I pass it in here, I'm passing it in as an any, which this is AI generated. But if I do this and I pass it in as an object, which would be the type, I think it yells at me. Or maybe it doesn't yell at me. Let's see. It doesn't seem to be yelling at me anymore. So maybe it's fine. You see, I don't even know. Maybe it's not a problem. All right. Well, doesn't seem to be a problem anymore. So maybe that's what I needed to do. But yeah, so I'm trying to figure out a lot of this stuff. Like, what was the other one? It was this block, I think. Maybe zoom that in. I don't think you guys can even read that. See index? Oh yeah, see now it's yelling at me here. Which I don't quite get. So yeah, it's weird. Anyways, so I have to put it back to any and then it works, but I don't think that's what I want to do. So I don't understand why this does that, but it makes it work. So this is that's the kind of stuff that drives me nuts. And then doing all this and having to figure this stuff all out, it's good times. But when you the testing that you were running into, Troy, what Kevin's answering. So that's a generic type? Any? Like I know what any is. It means it could be anything. Like, should I be passing something like T in there? Or I just don't get why it's supposed to be an object. Well, you're passing that type into the other. Yeah, I'm passing this. Oh my God. Did I just get rated? Sweet. I just saw my viewer list go like beep. 10 million people just showed up. Block params has a type param and expects a specific structure. Yeah, it does. Right? So Kev, talk me through this. So this was generated by AI for me. So the idea is attributes. We don't know what attributes is. We only know that it's going to be an object. Now I can't type it as an empty object because that'll fix, right? Right? So this is a generic, right? And Troy, if you know the answer to this, jump in too. Same with you, Paul. I feel like I'm talking over everybody here. But anyways. And if anybody else wants to comment,
examples.
Oh, there we go.
In my code to see if I can find anything.
Cool. The LUP is going to join us here. Sorry, I just saw the call-in request. We're doing call-ins, viewer call-ins. So if you have a verified Twitch account, you are welcome to jump on board. If I don't know who you are, I might not put your camera on immediately, but that's only just to keep us from, bad things happen. All right, the LUP is going to join us. Here we go. Welcome to the stream. All right. This is fun. All right, Kevin. So explain to me how I can make this work with any object. That's basically what I want to have done. I guess I could. Well, the question is, this is a generic, right? This is a generic. So it's being passed so I can use attributes to contain anything that's an object, right? Params on edit has a signature that you need to match. Yeah. So it's defined by my block params. So it's attributes, set attributes, and is selected. Edit has a type. Edit's type. So the thing is, AI generated this connection for me, and I don't understand it. Look where I use it. So I use it basically here, right? So this is, so the edit is going to be, right? It's just a component. So it's going to be using this here. So it's returning the React JSX element, which is what it's supposed to do. Register block has a type. It does. Yeah, it's right here. So it's going to have, it's got my register, and that, and edit on that needs to match. Yeah, no, I understand. So this is, so register block type takes a name and it takes a number of parameters. So I have a partial of register block params because not every time I'm using it. Well, okay, if I remove this, it's yelling at me. Oh, cannot be empty. Okay, so what I'm thinking is this is supposed to be an object, right? I'm defining it as an object here. So now it's not yelling at me, but it will yell at me here. It's not yelling at me there either. I don't understand why it's not yelling at me now. It has an any type. It shouldn't have an any type because block params has got it is selected. Oh, no, no problem. The LUP's trying to figure out the odd. If you move the any, this should, so this doesn't error. This doesn't error. It doesn't make any sense to me why that doesn't error now. And then this is erroring because this is saying that it has an implicit any type, but it doesn't because this edit is being defined in here. Oh. Oh, wait. Do I need to, hold on. Block attributes? Oh, that's what I have to do. Okay. That's why this is yelling at me over here because I need to do that and put that, right?
I gotta bail, guys.
All right, Paul. Well, thanks so much for hanging out.
Let's do it again.
Yeah. Well, I think I might just do this every. How do I restart TypeScript? Just go restart. Can I just tell it to restart? TypeScript. Restart TypeScript server. Boom. Okay, let's see. Problems. I got two problems. Cannot find block. Cannot find. Okay. The LUP, thanks for hanging out. Hey, man, how's it going? I'm going to just remove Paul. Thanks, Paul.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. I
Hello,
think chat
everybody.
can hear you. Thanks for joining us. This is awesome. I'm so excited that we're doing this. I can't tell you how nerdy this feels. It's amazing. It's just amazing. Okay, so block attributes. I need to do a type here for block attributes. This is the problem. Yeah, we'll just not do that. We'll do it. Come on now. There we go. So block params cannot find block. I have to import block params. Did I have to import block params over here? I did. All right, we'll do that. We'll just import block params. But boom. Okay. So that's not yelling at me anymore. Yeah, sure. Great. Duplicate identify. Oh. All right. So that's working. This makes sense. So in my missing types, I have an object. So Kev, am I explaining this? Like, is this correct to think of it this way? That this type that is being passed in here is supposed to be an object. And so I tell it that it's an object here to match this type definition. I think that's what I'm feeling like it should be. And maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know if I am. So there's that. So nothing here is yelling at me. I have no errors. So this is good. This is good. I'm very excited. The LUP, what are you working on? Let's start with that. What, you got anything that you can share?
I'm so out of the. I mean, I'm working on totally different things than TypeScript.
Well, yeah, no,
And-
you don't have to.
and it's
This is not a
probably
TypeScript focused stream. This is a.
it's probably under NDA, so no.
Oh, okay.
But I was curious I was curious about your opinion on this social side within the WordPress community, because every time this subject reappears, there's this discussion. Like, there are TypeScript enthusiasts. There are one TypeScript that, like, let's do it. Let's refactor everything. And
Right,
then there's this other side from Twitter that's, oh no, they are jumping for they're following butterflies. That's impossible. It's never gonna happen.
Like, it's
So
never going to happen in the sense of, like, sorry. There's the people that want to go full TypeScript, and then there's the people that don't want to go full TypeScript, or they're worried that it's a fad sort of thing. Like, is that what you're asking?
Yeah. They are worrying that it's just a trend. It's not going to stay
Yeah.
for a long time and so on. In my personal opinion, like I'm a centrist. In my opinion, whatever is good for the contributor is good for the project. The important part is that people contribute.
Yeah. No, I agree. I don't think TypeScript's going anywhere. I don't know. I mean, it's been around a long time now. Like 11, 12 years. Like it's been around a long time. Maybe I'm wrong with the amount of time, but I just don't think it's going to go anywhere. I think too that like it can be done in such a way where you still like, because you're just ingesting the types, like from an extender point of view. You don't need to write in TypeScript. If you want to, it would be really great to have the types available, right? So I don't see it as a bad thing. It's not like it's CoffeeScript or the next flavor of, like, we had the same conversation about React when React was chosen for the block editor, right? Like, well, maybe Vue will be the next thing, or Alpine or whatever, right? But I mean, React's still here, and it's probably going to be here for a long time, long after I quit doing this, most likely. And I think TypeScript is kind of the same. But we also have that escape hatch where I don't think you don't need to use TypeScript if you don't want to. So the benefits
that beats the purpose of the architecture. Like that's the purpose of TypeScript. It induces the idea that everything you will use as a parameter, it has to be strongly typed, so you know exactly what you are about to pass. So
for sure,
this makes it hard for people, let's say, that maybe they don't know the entire architecture behind the entire structure of the code and so on. So it's getting harder, like to come and contribute, because you will
because it's
have to
TypeScript.
know. Yes, because you will have
I
to
see what you're saying.
be strict in your contribution.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay. So there's a couple of parts to that, I think. And I mean, Troy, feel free to jump in here. I think that like having types is a good thing. I mean, strictly typed code bases are good. PHP allows for it. I mean, there's JavaScript has always been kind of the Wild West, because you could quite literally do whatever you wanted to do, and it never really mattered. And you could just like, oh, that Boolean, it's a string now. Oh, great, awesome. Like, and it caused a lot of weird problems, but it also allowed you to do things that maybe you can't do in a different language. I think with a larger code base, TypeScript becomes super important, because especially when it's like people that aren't contributing all the time. Like if you have someone like George,
you made a wise choice, my friend.
Mike Corkum, what? Hi, welcome. If you have someone who's lives in the code base all the time, they understand how things work. Maybe TypeScript isn't that much that not as helpful for them. But if you're like a part-time contributor or somebody who's not that familiar with the code base, I could see TypeScript saving a lot of problems, because you don't know what that parameter is. Like, here's an example. I was working on a pull request for the icon block to try to take Nick Diego's icon block and get it into core. I didn't make it into 6.9, but part of what I was trying to do was add more block supports, because we wanted them for height and width. And so that's not really a documented process, because it's a very much core thing, right? And it's not TypeScript. It's just like regular React. And it was really difficult for me to figure it out, because I didn't know how any of this stuff worked. And so at least if like I'm putting in a function and I'm not passing what it needs to get, TypeScript can kind of be like, hey, this is expected in here. And so maybe that can probably help a little bit. But it can also be wildly frustrating, like wildly frustrating, because you don't know, if you don't know TypeScript, you're like, I don't understand what any of these errors are. What the hell are these angle brackets? This makes no sense. It's dumb, right? So yeah, I definitely get I definitely get both sides of it. I'm literally talking in circles. I'm like, TypeScript's great, but it sucks. But it's great, and then it sucks. So it's like it really it's I can see why it's a little bit controversial.
Yeah, the LUP is right. Like I think it's going to be a bit of a barrier for some folks in contributing because of that lack of that knowledge that was there.
Yeah.
I mean, AI is going to help kind of get over that gap rather quickly now. Like when we had it, when we were starting on TypeScript and we hit all of our trouble and it was a lot of confusion there, we didn't really have the AI tools. We were just doing more Google searches, trying to understand it. So that made it more difficult. But I find now you can just, toss it into Copilot or, whatever you're using this day and get over the hump. But I do wonder how many folks are gonna kind of maybe step back a little bit more, if they kind of hit that TypeScript thing, I don't really want to go there yet, or could go either way.
Yeah, and I think part of it too is that, like, from my viewport as my point of view as a developer advocate, I think there's a need for people like me to be doing more things to explain this stuff. Like when a new API is released in WordPress, part of my job and other people in the community, their job is to be like, hey, this is how you use that API, and this is, here are some examples and here's some stuff. We're not doing that with TypeScript. Like I think there's one place in the Block Editor Handbook that I can think of where they talk about TypeScript and how you would do it in TypeScript, and it's the interactivity API. And it's just basic setup. So I think there's a bit of education. I mean, because if the project wants people to come along, then those that support the project and are trying to support the the developers that work with it, I think part of that falls on my shoulders and other people like me, right? And the rest of us, like writing articles for the developer blog on TypeScript and why you should use it, and that kind of stuff. Talks on like, hey, TypeScript for the rest of us, sort of thing. Like why I hate TypeScript and why you should use it. Like that's a great talk title, actually. That's a fantastic talk title. But stuff like that. I think I and it's the same with React. Like we're trying to teach a little bit of React with the block editor stuff, right? I mean, you can't teach everybody everything, right? Like you have to know a little bit to be able to get in the door. But it does. That's an interesting topic, Phil, for sure. Like the barrier
I also
to
think
entry.
that
Go ahead.
there's a learning curve in the engineering life, in the life in an engineer. When you are at the beginning of your career, you love a language like JavaScript for not being restricted. You don't know what you want to do. You want to be able to do this and that. When you see errors or linting errors, they're like, I don't like that. But then you evolve, and you say at that point you might say you don't like TypeScript at all, and then
Yeah.
you start learning. You start evolving. You keep learning, and then you will hit a point. And I see this in many projects, plugins, or when they are trying to mimic TypeScript in their structure. They will force parameters in documentation. They will try to do some type of objects that have a specific structure, and then they will validate it or sanitize it in somehow.
Mhm.
And they will try to mimic. At that point, they try to mimic TypeScript. They want a type uh, way of doing programming, but they don't want to use TypeScript.
Yeah.
And I think that's the learning curve of a programmer. You start early, you want flexibility, you learn, and then you realize that, man, the more flexible I let this function or class be, the more people will do crazy thing that I don't intend for them to do with this.
Exactly.
And then you go with the curve on the other side. You come back and oh, let's restrict this as much as we can, and you then probably you are the kind of guy that says, hey, let's implement TypeScript in Gutenberg now.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Great.
what you're talking about, like prior to types, being able to do types in PHP, like it was always called defensive programming. Like check to make sure that parameter is there and it's a string, and check to do this and that and the other thing. Like I always thought, like, being a good defensive programmer was making sure the thing was defined before you used it and make sure it was the right type before you did it. And like typed languages do a lot of that for you. And it's the code completion, and it's the there's a lot there that I really think helps. But again, it's like you want the flexibility until you don't, until you're in a 1,000,000-line code base and somebody changes a function parameter or function definition, adds another required parameter, and then everything breaks and nobody knows why because they can't trace it down, right? So I don't know.
Yeah, probably not a good idea to implement it on a large code base all in one shot.
No,
it's a mistake. I've made that mistake several times.
Yeah.
Now you've actually got me thinking about whether or not I should have a go at trying to convert one of my plugins over to TypeScript just to see how that works out.
Yeah, I think
you got me thinking now.
Well, I've tried to do it a couple times with my advanced query loop plugin, and the fundamental issue that you're going to run into is that the types that you need, the types that you are going to need for if you want to turn all your files into TS files, the types that you're going to need are not provided by core. That's the problem. Like register block type, which you'll need if you're doing a plugin with blocks, doesn't have a type, and the types from definitely typed are out of date, and so now you're fighting all that stuff. So TypeScript isn't fun, and it doesn't really help if you're fighting the system just to do the work. That's something that I've kind of struggled with TypeScript a little bit, is that, oh my God, I just spent 3 hours trying to figure out why these types are wrong and breaking when I haven't written a line of code for the thing I'm actually trying to work on. I'm all excited because I got my TypeScript errors to go away because I added some types, and I didn't build anything. I just got it to not have squiggly red lines. So I mean, yeah. And Kevin says he doesn't think that you need many, and you probably don't. Depending on what your plugin is doing. If I were to look at my plugin, which I would say is a fairly simple plugin in the sense of what it's actually using. Why is this not zooming in?
Now, are you registering your variation on this plugin in JavaScript, or are you doing it in PHP?
And I'm doing it it's all in JavaScript, and I'm actually looks like I'm trying to do it using I'm on my TypeScript branch. That's why I was playing around with trying to convert it. But I mean, I'm already running into errors. Okay, so these don't have types. They may not be installed. And so I know there's no types for blocks, which means that this thing will need to have a type. So I have to generate a type of this. Now I could just generate the type that I need just for my use case and move on. I could literally just create a type that has that stuff, and that's it. And then I'd be done. And then the rest of it, the rest of it is fairly straightforward, I think. But I mean, I guess it depends on what you're doing. And I think some of these things I don't need, I don't have all this stuff typed out yet, but it's it's mostly just React components and typing parameters and doing all that. I mean, I think it's a good. So in my case, where I think it would become super helpful is when I'm doing stuff like post meta query controls. The query, what they what am I trying to say here? In my types, I'm defining some types of query props, query attributes. Some of these queries are pretty big. There's a lot of props and a lot of things added, and my meta, when we're working with meta control, you can see there's a list of queries and there's an ID, and I have it defined here somewhere, but I can't remember where it is. But basically, they're pretty complicated objects. So having types in there would be very helpful, because then I don't have to remember what all that stuff is. But again, it depends on what you're doing, I think. So I'm going to take another shot at this. I think I did this kind of backwards, but that's sort of my idea. But yeah,
I think that the core team of WordPress still needs to take a decision on this, because this discussion reappears often.
Yeah. I think the decision is new code is written in TypeScript as much as possible. Like if you're writing a new component, it'll be done in TypeScript. Or if you're writing a new whatever, it's done in TypeScript. The problem is we've got like, I don't know what, 5-6 years of like non-TypeScript code out there, right? Kevin's giving us all the code that we need to start our that's it. That's all we need, according to Kevin. Perfect. Done. No more TypeScript is needed. It's the old stuff. It's the fundamentals. That's the thing. Like the block. A block doesn't have really a TypeScript definition. It has a definition. I don't know if it's been typed, and then like all the attributes for all of that stuff. Like that's what we don't really have available as a type. To be imported from a package, and I think it's just like getting into the weeds of it and just kind of working through it, right? So block output attributes,
Yeah, the stuff from Kevin looks pretty straightforward.
Yeah, Kev's kind of a genius. Taught him everything he knows. I'm not gonna lie to you. I am lying to you. All right.
I think that might be my weekend. I might convert one of my plugins to TypeScript just to try it.
Yeah, I really, honestly, I am like my New Year's resolution, besides losing weight, which is everyone's New Year's resolution, is to have every single JavaScript file that I create and work on be in TypeScript. Because that's the only way that I'm going to get really good at TypeScript, and I think that is a skill set that I need, is to work with it, and then I'll be able to identify the pain points that extenders have, and then I'll be able to help address them. Right? So.
Yeah, that was part of my problem with learning TypeScript, was just the frequency in which I was using it. For a while, it was like every day for a couple of months, but then we switched gears and it's like more focus on the WordPress side, like Gutenberg, and we went really hardcore on that. So like for the better part of the last year, I would say very consistently of my work and my personal work that I do, it was really all focused on Gutenberg and React and JavaScript, and I hadn't really touched TypeScript. So like I would go back now and I'd probably have to go and do some sort of a course of some sort, to just a refresher.
Yeah, that's exactly where I am. Like I have this course, and I got through it like last year, and then but like I don't touch I don't do a lot with TypeScript, like very basics. But the level of TypeScript that I'm operating at, like the types can be inferred by TypeScript. Like you don't need me to like, like it's a string parameter. Like I don't think TypeScript really can't figure that out, right? So yeah, I think it's like anything. It's like if you want to get really good at something, you have to you got to really do it. You got to just go and do it and dive into it. And this is going to be like a concerted effort for me to only write stuff. So I need to create block a template, which I have somewhere, that does TypeScript, that takes everything and just puts it in TypeScript. Because the cool thing about create block and the scripts package is you don't need to have a TS config. It just works, which is really great, because that's a big part too, is trying to figure out all the TS config stuff. And the only workflow I don't have is having the TypeScript watch running and the start package. But if you're in like an IDE, you don't really need to have it watching to do it, I think. And I think that's just my mindset, was that like I'm used to having like a watch command that does all my linting and everything in there for me. And the IDE does it now. So, and that's probably just me having to change the way I think of things, but so.
The great part of it is that AI is doing great with typed languages.
It really is. And I think it's going to help Gutenberg. It's very much I think once we start getting a lot more TypeScript based code out in the world that is for blocks and for working with the UI and slot fills and all of that stuff, I think AI is going to get better at giving good examples, right? I don't know, we'll see. They probably have to train some new models. How terrifying is it that the answers that we all put on Stack Overflow have now been ingested into models.
I'm more afraid about the answers given to.
yeah, exactly.
I'm afraid
minus
about those
200
from
answer
Reddit.
got yeah, exactly. That's funny.
The part that has been trained with Reddit is the problem.
Oh my god, yeah, exactly. Just want to do a shout out for anyone that's just joined. We are doing live viewer call-ins, so if you want to jump on stream with myself, Troy, and the LUP, come on in. All are welcome. All you need is a Twitch account and one that's verified. Apparently, so come on in and you can chat TypeScript or whatever you want. Doesn't matter. We can talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. Cool. All right, so I have to figure out what Kevin was telling me about this. So this is a very generic thing. So block params take this object. So should I do like, maybe I need to define a type that looks like, what are we gonna call this? Attributes? Attributes. Right, and then it you can do like the key is gonna be a string, right? Because we don't know what it is, and this will be a string. No, this is gonna be an object. Is that? I forget how to do this now. How do you do the dynamic? Ah, crap! I used to remember how. Whoa, what was that? I have to look this up. How do you do? Let's go to my course. Where's that course that I have here? That's not it. That's not where'd it go? Oh, whatever. Okay. TS dynamic keys. Key string thing object, something like that. Does it have to be an interface to do that? No. So like this. That's not an array of objects though. So that's what it would look like. And then trying to figure this out. Okay, so the name of our attribute is going to be a string. It always is. And then this is going to be an object, and it's going to have, it'll have a type, which is going to be string. Right? What was that? Heard a little like polka music or something there. That was great. So
that was my son. I got to tell him to turn down the volume. My son is home today and he's listening. He's watching SpongeBob.
Oh, that's cool. He can watch. Tell him to turn it up. I love SpongeBob. Okay, so the type is a string, right? And then what are the other things that we can put into an attribute for a block? We got type. It is what default. And right, and then what else? Oh, all this stuff. Okay, I'm not using any of that, so I should just be able to do something like this, right? So now, how do I indicate that this is an object that contains multiple of these? Does anyone know off the top of your head? I don't know how to do that. Oh, Kev's in the chat. He'll tell me what to do. So this is telling it that it's going to be have a key, and it's an object that has a type and a string in it. And then, but I want to be able to tell that attributes might have multiples of these. So is there like a way of doing that? Okay. I guess I'll Google it. Oh, you know what? Let's ask Claude. How can I indicate that this type can have more entries. Or does it automatically be inferred? It already does? So that's just saying, okay, perfect. So that's
Yeah, it does.
unlimited. Okay, nice.
But you want
It's
multiple
interesting.
levels?
Hmm?
I was asking if you want multiple levels. Deep. Do you want the object to be deeper and want to define it
No,
this
I
way,
just
or-
want the object to be able to be a series of strings followed by, so basically follow this. So attributes is going to be an object, and that contains a key, which is a string. And inside of that, it's an object that has a type, and it's of the type string as well. So that should be what this is doing.
Oh.
So if I pass this to here, is that going to do what I want it to do? Let's see. It seems to be. That's not yelling at me. Let's restart the TypeScript server. Did that actually do that? Nope. Oh, did that just do what I wanted it to do? Amazing. Now let's test it, and we'll say number. I don't know if that's gonna yell at me or not. Is there a block type? Probably. You probably just, no, there isn't a block type. I haven't defined one. Yeah, that doesn't seem to be doing anything. Oh wait, hold on. Probably need one that has attributes. Let's see. All right. Well, it's not yelling at me, so that's gonna be, I guess, what it needs to be. Right? I guess I can just pass this straight into here too, right? I can just do something like that. I should probably define a block type, but I don't have one defined, and I don't know if there is one defined in here. But Kev, this seems like it's the right way of doing this, right? I don't know.
In your type definition, you're setting your type, right? Do you not have to put in other stuff inside of there?
Where's that?
Like, I'm just looking. If you go back to where you're defining the type.
Which type? Sorry.
The your block attributes definition, I think it was.
Oh yeah, right here. I'm gonna put that into its own type. Sorry.
Oh yeah, okay, you did right there. Okay, because inside of there, wouldn't you put like say if one of your attributes was URL, wouldn't you put URL equals URL, or I guess?
Well, yeah, yes, you could, but I think that'll become a pain, because if I do it this way, like URL, like this, then this is going to expect. Why is it yelling at me? Oh, it's a string. What the problem here is that I need to have URL in every single usage of.
Wouldn't you
edit.
put URL like underneath type? Because you're going to define type. So your type there could be string, it could be number, it could be array. Like you could pipe a bunch of those in and have a bunch of different types in there. But then inside of there, wouldn't your attributes come underneath it? And you define, so say if you have a source URL, and it's it's a string.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. So this is too generic. Like it should be, because the types are actually going to be the word string or the word number. Like, is that what you mean? Or the word
Yes.
Boolean. And then I guess it'll be array. I think that's it. Yeah, that would be better, because the type can be like it can be any one of these, right? Number, object. Oh god, there's a ton. So it needs to be one of these options, not just a string, because I guess technically if I just type it as a string, it could just be that, and that will be correct. But it's like that'll be correct from a type point of view, but that won't be what we want, right? So, yeah, that's what you're asking me, right? See, this is the kind of stuff that I have to get better at. So this makes more sense.
It's interesting. I've taken a few screenshots of what you're sharing, and I'm running through chat as well, and just trying to wrap my head around it as well.
No, this is great. I mean, this is more correct because we this type needs to be of the type string, right? Or number. And I wonder if I can test that if by putting something in. So in here I've got, no, where is it? I had to close the wrong one. Pardon me. Sorry, I'm coughing in everyone's ear. Not that one. Okay, we'll use this one. Not that one. This one. So in here we've got this. So if I pass this as a is that going to work? Like, I don't know. Doesn't seem right. No, that is right. The value of that is a string. Okay. Am I overthinking this? Because the other thing that doesn't, well, that is basically what the block attributes look like. And this is going to be, there is a default. And the default is going to be a string as well. Right. I wonder if I don't get any errors though. Because I'm not, the thing is, it's not erroring. Like, I feel like this,
That matches the example that the first answer on AI gave me here.
yeah, like, we. Oh, we're J2 Trumpet. We are fighting around with TypeScript. Now the thing is here that by passing this block attributes, this isn't. Oh, hold on. I'm not thinking of this correctly, because the block attributes that get passed to here don't have anything to do with this block JSON. Like, this type doesn't necessarily matter. I'm not validating this. I'm validating what's coming in to the edit. Because it's not an object that comes in. It's a value. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? So, like, in your edit, this doesn't come in as like this is just a value. So attributes is going to be, it should be more like this. So whatever the key is, it's going to be just a simple value. I think that's more accurate. I keep looking at you guys like, yeah, is that right? Because this is just literally going to be the value of whatever the block attribute is, right, in here. Because when attributes get passed to the edit or the save component, they don't like, we don't know what kind of type they are. That's not passed as information. It's just the value is passed, and I'm pretty sure it's always passed as a string. So
Yeah,
maybe not.
That's true.
Yeah, so I think that is what we're
it's
looking
simply
for.
a way to tell the IDE that, hey, the value that comes here in this, it will be a string.
Mhm.
And that's how you
But if
deal
I
with it in that function.
Okay, so block attributes gets passed to edit. So in my edit, so see, it's weird because this should be erroring, shouldn't it? Block attributes. Now I'm trying to like break TypeScript. It's not working. So this feels weird to me because this attributes is being passed into my edit, and the edit. So this is defining these attributes as being some kind of key, which is a string, followed by a number. So that the value of whatever this is should be a number. But in my where I'm actually implementing this here, I'm defining my block attributes as 4 strings. They're in here as strings, but this should be yelling at me. Should it not?
I think it should yell at you in execution, like when you are trying to load that in the browser.
Yeah, do you think
Because
so?
I'm not
Well, it's a
I'm not sure
TypeScript
if
error
that
though, right? Like it
I'm not,
should be it.
I don't know if TypeScript can know if that returned value from the edit function is
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
on the
okay.
same structure. Like, but I bet that when you will execute that code, it will error out. It will see that it's a string, it's not a number, and
Really?
it will
Okay.
yell at you.
Let's check that. Let's see. Oh, do I have this thing open? I do. Okay, post all posts. This one. Let's see. Inspect console. No. Maybe. Grab that. Okay, so that's not doing anything. Okay, well, I mean, it's not. I don't know. Whatever. This is the kind of stuff that makes me like less, and I just don't know what I'm doing. But this feels like somewhere along the lines, this should know that what's being passed, because I'm defining my block attributes as a type, and I'm passing it here, and so this, like, where is this? Oh, you know why? I think I need to. I think I might need to import that. I need to change the name of this. Attributes. So this should be typed as how do I type that? Like this? Is that right? Oh, and then you need to pass the attributes in. I think that just needs to be passed in there, doesn't it?
All right, I'm gonna have to jump out, Ryan.
Yeah, no worries.
My lunch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
My lunch break is over.
Okay. Well, thanks for hanging out. Sorry, this has just been you looking at my TypeScript code. Shouldn't need to. What are you stuck on? Oh, Kevin. I'm stuck on everything. I'm stuck on you.
Have
Kev.
a good one, y'all.
All right. Thanks, Troy. Thanks for hanging out.
See you, Troy.
All right. So I'm just unsure why this isn't erroring for me, but this feels more accurate from a type point of view. But I'm not going to get too hung up on it. And it's afternoon anyway, so I think I might call it. Thanks for hanging out with me. You're last man standing. Anything you want to say before we jump off?
No. Have a great day. See you all.
Well, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for jumping on. Next week, Kevin, your turn. You got to get on here. Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Well, thanks everyone for hanging out with me today and help me fight through some TypeScript stuff. Great conversation about TypeScript. Yeah, I should definitely do that. Cool. Awesome. Well, thanks guys and gals and everyone hanging out with me today. I will see you next week. You're the best. We'll talk to you all later.